Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Bones, back with another video for you today, and I promise to bring you guys a shop tour of my bike shop, workshop, hobby shop, whatever you want to call it, since I do a number of things. Yeah, we have the video games, but that doesn't happen in here. I'm not going to play the video games down in here. A little too loud, a little too echoey. But we do make the videos for you in here. This is my new shop, my new man cave, my new garage, whatever you want to call it. So, got some things to show you. This goes both sides, so it's going to go both kind of the hobby side with the modeling and as well with the bicycles. So, let's start and begin the tour. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm going to start from this corner. Here it is, by the way, kind of a big overview. There's the house over there. As you can see, we got plenty of lighting in here. It's only a single car garage. Somebody asked, well, why didn't you park a car in here? Well, as you can see, I got tile. If I parked a car in here, the weight would just destroy the tile. So tile has got scratches on it and stuff. So it is a garage. Previous owner used this as his for Super Bowl parties. We got a fridge there, closet with a hot water heater, some shelves. We got our stand-up freezer for my wife, some stuff for her. We have another fridge, got a mini fridge, which is going to go up ultimately in the bedroom. So there is still some clutter in here, as far as just moved a couple days ago. But yes, we do have a few extra things in here. But we'll kind of just talk about the big thing is all the tools and stuff. So as you can see here, this bench here, I got Dremel. It's not really a Dremel, but it's a Craftsman version of Dremel. We got ourselves a nice shop room there. Got lots of shop brooms. So if I need to do any type of Dremel type of stuff, we got our Dremel in here. It's got a nice extension, so I only have to use this part of it here. I can hang the rest up on a rack. I used to have a nice rack that was mounted. I could hang this thing up and it was just kind of permanently stored. So, haven't used it in a while. It's probably seen better days. I had this probably for over almost, how old was I bought this? You know, it's been probably 18 years I've been using this guy. I had it when I was quite young. Great tool. Yes, this is a toolbox for a set of sockets, but I'm not really using it for that. I'm using it for some other stuff. And then we have our main tools over in the Craftsman toolbox my wife got me for Black Friday. Nothing much in there. That basket up here, we do have a set of Irwin tap and die set. Standard tap and die set there, as you can see. Kind of important, I think, if you ever have to fix bolts or nuts or things like that. Have some miscellaneous screwdrivers and stuff that can go into the quick drill right there. We have some Master Mechanic drills, bits. These are for cement. And then we have our standard ones. These are just Ace Hardware guys. So I think I bought the whole set for, what was it, $35. These are like $15 a piece. I just bought a whole set. That way I had both. You can see there's drill bits in there as well. Okay. Got an old Simpson multimeter here. Ohm meter. Of course, we got a drawer with all our miscellaneous nuts and bolts and bits. Always good to have extras of these, especially when you come to hooks, things like that. We got ourselves a punch set here. We use for a number of things, for guns and long guns and things like that as well. But it's always good to have some nice punches, some nice bodge stitch, Stanley bodge stitch. But only problem I find with these guys is right here. Yeah, those come off pretty easily. Extra drill bit that goes in somewhere. Not all these groups really have tools. I'm using one for kind of a spray thing. Miscellaneous needle nose pliers, clippers, screwdriver over here. Say, well, why don't you have that in your big toolbox? Well, I'm just kind of ran out of room. Of course, we got our tool bag for our bike. So I kind of keep it off if need be. Got ourselves a chisel. In the bottom drawer. Got some extra goodies. Try not to drop everything. Got some flashlights, knives, cable cutters, strippers. Lots of, I always save extra Allens. Any Allens that come with these special kits for stuff, I save them all. Alright, so we'll screw it's there, and then every single type of Allens come with any type of little table, chair, or whatever. I got it. Got a rechargeable Craftsman 19-volt drill. And up there, of course, we got a, oh, better swap her out here for a battery swap out. Take the, probably due for new batteries, by the way, folks. Ooh, it looks like I got defective batteries. So that is a nice thing about these. I'll tell you if you got a defective battery, but I can get new ones. I think this is probably, what's the other one that's probably defective as well. No, not. So. Okay. Got ourselves a corded hammer drill. These are always great. Nice thing is this is a skill. This is, I think, 30 bucks on sale at Home Depot. So get yourself one of those. Great to have, especially if your house is made of cement. Obviously, we got our tool bag that's going to go on the back of the bike. Down in here, we got our shoes. I keep my bike shoes out here. The only thing I don't keep out here is my clothing. I got extra inserts because I got some extra shoes back in here. Got our mountain bike shoes, Shimano. By the way, I'll do a review on these, long-term review. I've ridden these for a long time. Those are Crank Brother, not SPD cleats. Those are for the candies. And then these guys are for the ones I put on for the, they both work the same, but for the egg beaters. Then we got our other shoes back there. We got our Louis Garneaus with the bolo strap. I don't wear them that often because they're not as stiff. Yeah, lots of other stuff. Some other tools and stuff back in there. Okay. These are great shoes, by the way. They're not super stiff, but they're just a great all-around mountain bike shoe. I think 89 bucks. And I think I paid for these more because they were on sale. I think I paid like 109 for these. Those I got on sale on a clearance sale. Just happened to be my size. So, as you can see, I've put some wear and tear on them. I've stripped them a little bit right there. Had some accidents, whatever. Great shoe. And then of course we got our road shoes, our Bontrager's carbon sole down there. Did a review on those. Go back and look at that review. So we got both our bikes. Of course, we got our road helmet, our laser road helmet right here. Normally put that up on the rack. We got our Jamis road bike. This is more of our endurance road bike, but it's only 9-speed. So also got our bike stand here. Did a review on this. Done some videos with this. And as you can see, it is holding, and it ain't gonna fall over, folks. This thing is not gonna break. It's hard holding our giant Propel road bike. Miscellaneous weights. Obviously, camera tripod. Stuff of my wife's. You know, gotta have the drinks and stuff. All that stuff here. Got some paint, obviously. A couple of floodlights. Now over here we got got a couple more helmets. Here, Giro. This is what I use for mountain biking. Got the little visor in the front. Old Live Strong. You want to see something funny? You want to see the irony? The V fell off, so it's Lie Strong now. You won't hear me talk bad about Lance Armstrong. Yeah, he was a liar. He was a cheat. Of course, everybody was cheating. Do I believe that's right? No. I never believe that it's right to do wrong because everybody else is doing it. But was he any different from anybody else? Should he have gotten any different treatment? Probably not. This old Nishiki helmet, that's my son's. Of course, we got all our models here, our model kits from our model videos. Some of these are done, of course. Got our new Gundam, High New Gundam, which isn't done yet. We're gonna have to work on. We're gonna have to work on Ashtray as well. These two guys are everything. And by the way, my models are inside the boxes from the move. Gundam Exia, which is finished. Got to do Zeta Gundam. F91's done. Crossbones Gundam is done. Need to do. Well, Strike Freedom's complete for Burner needs worked on. Justice and Double Riser need worked on. Of course, our Kshatriya and our Sazabi. So, as you can see, we got our pump setup, which I'll hopefully do a kind of a review of this guy here, as well as a review of our Grex paint gun, paint sprayer as well. Got some miscellaneous tools here, odds and ends stuff. Obviously, no garage works interview complete without some power cords, some mop and sponges and brushes and all that stuff. Yeah, we got a mini fridge that ain't plugged in, but let's go behind the mini fridge. Got an extra stool here to my hunting seat. But as you can see below, let's see here, move some stuff that way. Gotta hook these hooks up. I think these were like $2, $3. These heavy duty ones. I think I got these from the exchange or from a Walmart or something. So these are gonna go up, hang up one of the bikes. You can see below we got some saddles. Got an old saddle my son used for a while when he first started riding. That was his original Diamondback saddle. I always keep all the saddles just in case one breaks. Recycling computer stuff. Keep all the books and that kind of stuff. Also, by the way, in here, I think I got all the old. Somewhere I have all the old mounts. Might be in here. Nope, that's extra skewers stuff. Somewhere I got old mounts, and that doesn't matter, but you want to keep your old mounts for your cat eye or whatever. A couple of seat posts here. Of course, we got a couple of saddles. This was the saddle that came on my Jameis bike. It was a good saddle, but a little bit, how should I say it, soft for me. I'm a heavy dude. Not too much flex right here in the seat area. Felt like I was sitting in an old school horse saddle, so really well built. You can see I have some scuffs. Really good saddle, but like I said, just not as comfortable as the Adamo saddles. Okay, of course that's the original seat post, and I switched it because I don't like the 2-bolt system. Okay, and then here's that carbon fiber one that we talked about with the safety issues of carbon fiber, single bolt, great seat posts, but the problem is they're super light, a lot lighter than this thing is, but is it worth it? I always feel it's worth it. So we have ourselves I really haven't. I bought this before I was planning to. It was supposed to be a replacement for the San Marco. And as you can see, it's got, well, these are titanium rails. By the way, I got this through Jensen USA for $15. Seat post is for my mountain bike. It's an Easton EC70. I think I got this on sale too as well for like, oh gosh, 30 bucks, something like that. So great seat post, just can't use it on the road bike. Really great saddle. I have ridden a little bit with it, but really well constructed. I like how it is in the back here. The only problem is it's just not conducive to putting a bike bag on the back. What it does have is he has these two screw holes, and you can mount a Blackburn has saddlebags that you can just mount right to there. Works pretty good. Okay, so good saddle. Really stiff, by the way. You're not gonna, you don't get a ton of flex with this. As far as it's not carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is the stiffest, but for non-carbon fiber saddle, really nice. Got some bar ends, extra bar ends back there. Got ourselves. Now this is the original Giant saddle that comes with the Giant propels. And like I said, I don't ride with these. So you could take this guy and cut off this nose, like right here. And then of course I'd sit, like, the back end of my butt would be right here. Well, then I might use it, but I'm not going to. So I keep it. Might throw it on some other bike if I get rid of a bike. So always keep your old stuff. Don't get rid of it. Put this stuff back. I want to be careful with carbon fiber. Of course, I got the saddles that are on my mountain bikes. Now these aren't speed play. These I plan to put on the mountain bike, my Diamondback. I plan to get a new group set for it. Replace the complete group set. I got good brakes on it, so I'm gonna keep the brakes. They're cable disc brakes, but I'm gonna keep them. Anyways, excuse me. And then I have the candies, and I'm gonna put these on instead. Yeah, the candies just lighten the bike up a little bit. It's a pretty big, chunky bike. Got us our set of cables. By the way, I got some cable ones that are coming in. Buy a bottle with cable crimp-ins. This is a set of Durace stainless steel. It's a little bit older, but as you can tell from the silver, let's see, SIS-SP. So this is just the shifter cables, by the way. This is not the brake cables. And they're pre-cut, right? But I don't need them right now. Let's see here. This is my old crank set from the Jameis bike. I haven't really done a review on that. As you can see, the box says a Sora, Shimano Sora. This is the 2x. It was the 2x crank, so it would be the FC3550, which was when they switched to Holotech 2. And it was 5034. And there's the old crank. Once again, compact chain set. This is the FSA Vero. This is what came on it, 110 millimeter. And they're right there, 5034. And then there's the old bottom bracket. There's a nothing more than, this is a box for a Tiagra. $25 for the external bottom bracket that's on my Jamis right now. And there's the original. So, like I said, I don't like square keeper bottom brackets. So, I switched. There's the old crank arm. There's that. So, keep it just in case something was to happen. I could put it on in a pinch and still ride. But probably never would anyways. But, like I said, if I had a bike, if somebody gave me a bike that had a really old, like, non-sealed bearing crank set, and I wanted to upgrade it, I would use that. Okay, let's see here. Got some extra bike bags here, as you can see. Front end bike bag from Bell, just a cheapie. Miscellaneous stuff. This is my old saddlebag, a little bit bigger than I wanted. So I got that new upgraded Arrow one. It has the thing on the top. These are still good, the toe peaks. Love these. This is a mountain bike one. It's a large. Here's a medium. They make a small as well. Of course, we got a couple other things here. We got some couple inner tubes for the mountain bike. A new set of hard shells. Gator skins hard shells versus the normal gator skins. And those are going to go on the Giant. And then, of course, we got ourselves a couple of pumps here. We got a Blackburn pump. And we got another. You'll notice this from my road bike. I got an extra one of those and an extra one of those as well. Did a review on those. And this is just a standard. Of course, you can take that off and switch it to the press valve. Just a standard bike pump. Always keep some extra around. One thing I need to get is a frame pump, or not a frame pump, a track pump. I used to have one and it kind of broke years ago. I have to replace it. So that's this corner. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to see my fly fishing vest. Nothing really in there. Just obviously the fridge. Yeah, everybody wants to see what's in a fridge. Lots of oranges. Always keep water out here. Wife keeps the meats out here and stuff. And then I keep some snacks from time to time. Of course, some frozen foods. Frozen meats mostly, not foods. We don't eat anything processed for the most part. Other than some lunch meat from time to time. Okay, so other end of the room. We got our toolbox. And if you guys give me 1 second. Oh, by the way, one thing too. I want one of these creepers. I like one with a little bit of back on it. These are great. They're nice, just sturdy, big wheels. Okay. Well, sorry about this, folks. I've got to plug myself in. So I got power strip right there. Yes, I have an air conditioner in my garage in Guam. Yet need one. So I'm going to plug myself in real quick. So I'm running lower on battery. Bam. Charging away. Okay, so toolbox. Wife got this for me. It's a couple $100 normally. She got it for me for $89 Black Friday. So we're gonna go through it. As you can see here in the top, got ourselves a level. Got ourselves a couple of sets of spacers. As you've seen from the bike, both of them are slammed all the way. Curve around to the back where the Jamis is. Let's see here. There we go. See how far it's slammed? Even had to get a thinner dust cover. Had to order a 10mm one, twice the 20mm that I had. As you can see there, that's already got a 10mm spacer there. I left 2 spacers on the top just in case. I went with that same type of mount that I have for the cat eye for on the top. Problem with this bike is the fact that you can't do that because this is an oversized steer tube. still, until the out front mount comes, we'll be using the original. But got all the extra spacers. Those are for the Jamis. And here's the spacers. Big suckers for the Giant. I have some extra tube liner stuff. Now I carry this with me. I'll carry a couple strips of this. If I ever get a portion where the tire actually rips in a spot, I'll put this in around the inner tube, and it won't cause a blowout. And I'll typically I'll scratch this up, put some glue on it, and I'll put it over the spot where the tire would be with some sealant, and kind of hobble yourself home with that. Got a second set of tire levers in here. Got 3 rolls of electrical tape, one in red. A spare inner tube for the road bikes. Got one set of patches in my bike bag. I've been there all the time. I got 2 sets there. I'll use these. I don't like the Insta patches. The reason is they aren't permanent. These things are permanent. You get the glue doesn't dry out with the Park Tool stuff. You get a how-to directions right there. And you get yourself plenty of patches and sandpaper. If you ever run out of sandpaper, just go to the store and buy yourself a couple sheets of sandpaper and cut it off, which I got plenty of that. And plenty of patches. This one I've used a little bit, a couple times. And yet I'm still using those inner tubes, by the way, into my bikes. So don't ever think that these don't work. These are way better than Insta patches. I don't like Insta patches. Takes a little bit extra time. Now if I was riding a race, I'd use these patches, but I'm not. So if I'm riding a race and I get stuck like that, I'm probably screwed anyways. Extra headset bolts. These are non-stainless steel kind. A little got some rust in them, so I changed them out. Obviously, extra jockey wheel. That's for I got extra jockey wheels coming for the Giant. That's for the, as you can see, the non-bearing type. Let's see, set of precision screwdriver set. A couple different Gerber knives. Always keep a couple little sharp knives in there. Always good to have. Multi-tool, Gerber multi-tool. Got leather my multi-tool. Got my good multi-tool I got down there, and I use it at work with all my bits. And I did a review on this guy. Showed you this guy. And there's the actual bits for them. You get the accessory bit pack for that. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. A little mini vise. It's got some rust and stuff on it, but it works really good in a pinch. And then this I use for cleaning off my bike. This is a high pressure hose nozzle. Turn that in. Like so, and it closes that off and gives you pressure without having an actual pressure hose. Okay, so that's the top compartment. Shut that and go. So then I carry all my small 1/4 inch bits or sockets and wrenches down here. 1/4 inch driver. I got both metric. I have them divided up, by the way. I got them both metric, which is up here, and standard, which is down here. Got a file set here. Some top cutters. These are for like cutting like this. Very expensive. Got our neck size, right? Same thing. That's standard. A little bit of rust. WD-40 takes that off. You can see here, let me show you one. Yeah, that had a lot of rust on it. Sprayed some WD-40 on it, scrubbed the thing out. Good as new. Well, not perfect, but. So got both your standard and your metric. Got 3 ratchets here, you can see. I have extra ratchets, but here, a couple extensions, always need a couple extensions. got our big 1/2 inch wrenches. There you go. And got all, once again, the only difference is I have, there it says 1/2 inch. Three-eighths. These are, if you're only a bike person, you'll never use these spark plugs. Change spark plugs out. Of course, this is always great having an elbow. Fortunately, you don't have to use sockets for that often. Okay, so yeah, I need to get a little bit of rust off of this guy, but did come over on the boat. Got our Allens, 2 sets of metric Allens, set of standard, and then a set of metric. Of course, we also got our star keys is there as well. Set. We got our metric. Now, this here torque wrench, it's not foot-pounds. This one goes from 150. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 150 all the way up to 750 inch-pounds. Now, I don't have the Newton meters on this guy, unfortunately. But once you start getting up that high, it's probably not going to read Newton meters anyways, so probably won't have to worry about it. So that's there. You're going to use this mostly only for bottom brackets and stuff like that. Real heavy. And what I mean by bottom brackets, I mean like the type that's on the Jamis over there, the external bottom brackets. Aren't going to use this too much. Of course, we got our wrenches, box wrenches, open-ended wrenches, whatever you want to call them. Got our standard over here. I've got a couple of adjustable wrenches, by the way. Got to have those so you can see everything else. Got metric. We got extras here. So I just threw them in here, but this was a set. Just not super expensive. Got them from the exchange, but they still come with lifetime warranty. Still drop forward. Still pretty good. Got a Park Tool bottom bracket tool. BBT9. That's for the external bottom brackets. And then only the newest Dura Ace use a slightly smaller compact one, and then you'll actually get a adapter that goes on too as well. Here. This is a pedal spanner, PW5, and then of course I got this cone wrench. Now, like I said, cone wrench is pretty inexpensive, so people love making their own tools sometimes. So yeah, you can take these guys, take a 12 millimeter, 13 millimeter. You can just grind these down if you really wanted to. Get them, but you'd have to get them pretty super flat. See, like that. That's a lot of grinding to do. It's a lot of work. Cone wrenches aren't that expensive. I think this cone wrench is $5. You can get a whole set of cone wrenches for maybe 15 bucks, something like that. And the Park Tool ones are pretty heavy duty. So, yeah, you can make your own if you really want to. The others, you got 13, 15. You need a 16 millimeter. So, let's see here. Shoot. I don't have an extra 16 millimeter, but you can do a 16 millimeter. You get 12, 14. You need a 14 millimeter, 12 millimeter, I believe. There's only like, if you get the double-sided ones, like this, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think there's only like 6 different cone wrenches you actually physically need. And that's a 15, so I mean, you're like, some people are like, oh, you can use the pedal spanner. Yes, you can use the pedal spanner, but that's a 15 as well, so it doesn't matter. But 15 is the most common people use. And, nice thing is if I need a little bit more cranking power, use that. Sometimes though, the pedal spanner still is too thick. You need something like the cone wrench. But I think you can You can buy these at the hardware store. You can find cone wrenches. Or just order them from Amazon. Okay, so the last drawer, big drawer. And cable cutters, always get yourself a good pair of cable cutters. Do not scrimp on cable cutters. Do not try to use these. I'll show you why. See how they're starting to bite in. These are for small cables. These are for strippers. These I have them because you can cut bolts with them. You strip wire. Now, can I use these for crimping? Oh, hell yeah, I can use these for crimping, for crimp ends. But normally I'll use this for crimp ends. There. I use that tip part and just crimp on it. Okay. But you don't want to use those too much for cable cutting. So nice big heavy duty. See how they are? They're flat almost. Okay, you know, can you buy these at a hardware store? Yeah, you can buy a heavy cutter like this in a hardware store. Okay, but same price. In fact, I think I paid $12 for these. Lock in place. You can't crimp with these. These don't have the crimpers on like the Park Tool ones. It cost $20, but crimping is easy to do. In fact, see how that comes together really close at the bottom? You could probably use that to crimp it. Okay, get yourself a couple hammers. That's for my Allen wrenches. It's like it's a handle adapter. Okay, let's do this. There we go. Get that out of there. Lots of little screwdrivers, short screwdrivers, Phillips flats, and all. Lots of little screwdrivers in here. At one point I had a huge set. We got a. This is, sorry, for your free hub. So for the back part where your cassette comes off, that's where it goes into. It's for Shimano and SRAM. If you got Campagnola, you got a slightly different one. So it's pretty much all the same. You only have two of these you'd ever need. Yep. This is a bottom bracket tool. This is for a square tapered bottom bracket. It's not for the Octolink or any of those. So any of the square tapered bottom brackets or the power spline, I believe. It is Shimano's. Couple chain tools here. You got this is to hold the chain together, it's popping out, and then you have a chain checker. Always want to have yourself a chain checker. There you go. I'm not going to go on how to use some of these tools just because I've done some of that before. Of course, you want yourself a couple rubber mallets. Got a nice rubber mallet there. That big heavy one, especially for the Holotech 2 crank arms. You want to be able to whack those in and not damage them. And here is a smaller one, and this I use for like free hubs, or not free hubs. I use for the hubs themselves for the smaller bearings. A couple pairs of channel locks. Of course, this one's for vice grip, and it literally locks into place. And I like this one. That's why I have it. So if I don't have a wrench the right size, I can use this sucker. Like I said, all our screwdrivers, even the tiny ones. Bottom crank arm tool. So the crank arm that you guys saw over on the shelf, we kind of have that there. Really important. These are great. So these are titanium shears. I think these are like $20, but these will cut through anything. So they're mostly for cutting steel. Sorry, my brain's slipping. Screen doors. screen door cutters. That's what people love using these for, but they will work almost as tin snips. So work great. And great. Get some titanium shears. This is a park tool, chain tool. This is for the quick link. Okay, and the reason is for when you first get them, many times they're very, very hard to either remove or to get together. So that's for that. And you say, well, that seems silly. I don't have something like that, but just in case, especially if they get rusty. Of course, you got your chain whip, which goes in your hub removal tool there. Of course, I always have some. A gauge checker, spacer gauge checker. Always have one of those. If somebody says you need this much gap between something, then that's what I use. Now I use this for one thing only on the bike. Well, I shouldn't say that, just one thing. So let's see here if I can show you guys. On a not a free hub, but on a hub, you want a slight gap between the cone where the cone comes in, okay? And so I use the tiniest one here, and then that gives me my perfect gap. It's like what is it? 0.005 millimeter. So you can actually look under your hubs and they'll tell you exactly where the race needs to be. Unlock it too, by the way. This just makes it a little easier. Jeez. But it's just a gauge. Works great. Okay, so down to the bottom. Alright. This back, we're going to get some specialty tools. There's the bottom of the toolbox, folks. Sorry, by the way, I know this is going to be a long video, but I want to go through everything. So, got a couple of hammers. You always have to have a ball peen hammer. And you always need a clawfoot hammer. So, if you want one or the other, go with the clawfoot. If you only get one hammer. Okay. For bike work, though, get yourself a small tack hammer and so this is more of a specialty tool as well, DAG 2.2 or the 2.0, and this is your rear mech hanger alignment tool. And I'm going to definitely use this because my son's bike fell over and the rear mech bent, and I'm going to have to pop it back in alignment. So it bent bad, pretty bad. I might even have to replace the rear mech hanger, but hopefully I won't. Hopefully I can just pop it back in alignment. So, specialty tool, it's about $60 for that, but works great. And it saves yourself replacing the rear mech hangers all the time. Okay, other things I got in here is obviously we have our dummy hub right there. We got all our grease. Got a 3-in-1 grease right here. In fact, this is old school grease, sewing machine oil. It's what it's normally used for. And but people used it for bikes, for bike chains years and years ago. But I keep this around, just absolutely great penetrating oil. Yep. Of course, now this is what we use for our chains now. Clean Ride. This is a waxing lube. If I want a slightly lighter lube that doesn't pick up any dirt at all. And if I'm going to clean my bike chain more often, almost every ride, then I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the White Lightning's Epic Ride, which is, here's your thing. You got clean, epic, and wet. That's your clean. Epic is this guy, and wet is very wet. I hate that stuff, so I don't ever use it. I got a smaller bottle that's pretty much empty. Yeah, let's see. I think this is an air tools. So keep yourself a set of air tools. I got the air hose over there, air compressor. Oh, wait there. Spray off your bike. Once you clean your bike, you get air dried off. Of course, we just did a video about these guys, bearing presses. Yeah. Put those off to the side. Always keep some rubber gloves when doing the dirty work. Long screwdriver, like really long. It's like a sword. As long as that 2-foot bearing presser was. Keep some shop rags. So, some people go buy special brushes. This is a car brush. You get these at Home Depot or at the Exchange. The nice thing is it's dark. I use this for cleaning my chain, cleaning the bike. Absolutely awesome. As you can see, it has got plenty of use. Like a couple bucks. Grease gun. Get yourself a grease gun. Get a small one. Don't get a super big one. You want a small one. You want a small one like this. This is the max size you want. And I use this for greasing my pedals. Because I go use, as you can see there, speed plate pedals, and you have to grease them quite often. That saves your bearings. You don't replace bearings on speed plate pedals, you just grease them. So, almost out of grease, not much left. And there's, by the way, as you can see, newspapers. There's our spare grease. Cut that top open, peel that piece off, pull that off, and you shove that in there, cartridge. Now you can get marine grease, which will last a little bit longer. The thing is, this is white, and when it turns gray, it means that it's time to replace the grease. That's why I use that, only for the speed plate pads. Now everything else I use this Park Tool stuff, or I just buy marine grease. This works really well. As you can see, this is a greenish blue stuff, almost like tourmaline or whatever. If you're in the Navy, stuff works great. Fiber grip. Gotta have some fiber grip. If you're putting two pieces of carbon fiber together, use fiber grip. Okay. And then last but not least, as far as the tool department, is our, this is the one you're going to use the most often, and this is your torque wrench. Okay. We have the large torque wrench, but this one, and I'll show you why this is very important. This one's important. So you have a standard inch-pounds on that side. You can see there, inch-pounds. This goes from 40 all the way up to 200. So if you look back on the back, Newton meters, 5.1. Okay. Now, let me show you something real quick. So I'm going to get my bag here, and I'm going to pull out a preset that we use all the time. At the very least, you should have one of these. Okay, you don't have to have a bond trigger, you can get a Park Tool one. They even make mini adjustable ones. So, this guy, 5 Newton meters. See that? It's 4 millimeter. So this is for all your headsets, normally this will work. This is for your seat post and for your stem. Bar stems, excuse me. Okay, so also it works for your brakes as well. The brake pads right there. Those are 4 millimeter. And they're about 5 millimeters you want to torque them down to. So, let's see here. No, not that for that, not that one. Sorry, right there, that one. Let's torque that guy down. Also works for your head, right there. See? Oh, right there, bam. So, this is a quick, just gonna torque to it. So, that's 5. this goes down to 5.1. Now, you can find some Newton meter ones that go down directly to 5, but the difference between 5 and 5.1 is really negligible. In fact, 5 is 40 inch-pounds. Anyways, it's like 39.5 inch-pounds. So really, just use this guy. Back it off just a little bit. Now the only problem is, and this is very easy to use, just back this down. You turn it, spin it. It's got directional use. It's like a torque wrench should have. Now the only thing you're going to need though, because this is a 1/4 and these are 3/8. By the way, make sure you don't drop your torque wrench, you ruin the calibration of it. So you need yourself an adapter, and most torque wrenches will not come with the adapter, so you got to buy one. A couple bucks. I went to a Napa, bought it, because believe it or not, they did not have one at the Home Depot. So the torque wrench and the bits cost me like 50 bucks. You can buy one for just for bikes through Park Tool, and you're going to pay $100. You go to your local. There you go. So there's our torque wrench. Got it. Perfect use. And most torque wrench boxes will come with a little spot here where you can put the adapter in it. Like so. Back in the box. Always keep your torque wrenches in the box if you have a box. The big one, I don't have a box for it because it was a leftover from a boat and they couldn't use it anymore, so they got rid of it. Vision was like, yeah, just take the thing. So yeah, like I said, got a little bit of rust on it right there. Gotta get rid of that, but that doesn't affect it how it operates. So that's my toolbox. Of course, we got our bench here, and it's a little bit messy, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I got all my modeling stuff here. And that way I don't have to paint in the house. I can use my airbrush and everything and paint outside, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. That's the garage tour. I know it went kind of long. It's almost an hour long video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. See all the tools, especially the shop tools. Get a look at the stand, how everything looks on it. Look at the bikes, some extra stuff, and hopefully you guys like the video. Hopefully you guys subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Make sure you give us a big thumbs up, and continue to ride. I'm out.